Hey everybody, I'm Stacy Lyn, and I am going to show you my garden. Right now it is the peak of everything here in Alabama. Everything is coming ripe, everything is looking beautiful, but give it a couple of days and all of my plants are going to start to wilt. Not that they're not going to produce anymore, it's just that they're prettiest right now. So I wanted to take you through and show you what we planted this year and some of the things that we have done. And so come on, let's go. Okay, first of all, you can see these tomato plants. We did 3 rows of tomatoes, and we have one other extra row that we did that are going to come up and give us a second crop. So we have got all kinds of tomatoes, from Better Boy to you know, all the beefsteak tomatoes, all of the Roma tomatoes, all kinds of varieties, lots of heirlooms, but we can a lot. So, and they barely make it. Every year I'm like, we've got to plant more because we need to can more throughout the year. We need to have more. So thus, you know, half of our garden just about is tomatoes. The thing about they're not very expensive to grow, but they're super expensive to buy. If you buy the heirloom tomatoes, they will cost you $5 I keep saying potato, sorry y'all, but $5 a tomato. It's crazy. So I'm like, this is where you're gonna get the best bang for your buck. This year we did not do peas. Normally we do peas down those rows right there where I've got the okra, but this year we planted okra there. So right here is a pickle, listen to me. It's been a long day. So I have been everywhere today. We actually came out and took pictures this morning. We've taken pictures this afternoon. I'm sweating. It's probably 100 degrees out here. It's about 6:30 at night and it is still blazing hot. No wind, nothing. Look, you can tell how humid it is. It's like my hair's wet, everything's wet. But anyway, here are some cucumbers, and this one, they're slick like, and these right here are great for slicing. So these are slicing pickles, and we're gonna have a ton of those, and they are delicious. Over on the other side, I'll show you when we get there, we have pickling pickles, and they have a little prickly things all over them, and you know that they're good for pickling. So that is your slicer. Over here we have our okra, and it's gonna be great. We have got the best okra. You can get long pods and they will still cook up nice and tender. So I'll put in the text exactly what those are. It's actually the best okra seeds, and so they're delicious. And then we have these tomatoes that we recently planted, and then we've got jalapeno peppers over here. We've got habanero peppers. Over here I'm going to show you a really beautiful plant that I like planting as a beautiful hedge sometimes. It's gorgeous. It's a Tabasco pepper plant, and it's just really beautiful. Here are some of our heirloom tomatoes, and we'll save seeds from these tomatoes. And look, show them how many. We're producing all kinds of these huge, beautiful tomatoes. I'm just hoping that they don't crack and, you know, get infested before we're able to get them, but we're trying to let them ripen on the vine so that they are super delicious. They're never going to taste as good as they do when they ripen on the vine. So we need to make some fried green tomatoes, and if you're a fan or you've never had fried green tomatoes, you need to go to my website and look up fried green tomatoes and baked fried green tomatoes. They're both equally as wonderful. I like to put them on hamburgers. I like to put them on just about everything and serve them with a remoulade sauce or with some shrimp or some crawdads or crab even. They're delicious. So you need to try that, and it's one of my most viewed recipes on the blog. So stacylynharris.com, and subscribe while you're there. You'll get a free ebook that you can learn to can. You can do anything. You can put up your own stuff. Freeze and dry is a preserving book. Okay, so here's the squash plant, and as you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful bush. It's a vine, actually. It's gorgeous, but it takes a lot of space. But this is another thing that's worth it to grow. Now, the peas, I think, are worth it for the taste. But the thing is, the hours you're going to spend shelling peas, which I don't mind if we need nitrogen in the garden because they put off a lot of nitrogen. They're a great cover plant, but and they help with the compost and all that, but we grew them last year. We'll probably grow them again next year. But as far as making, you know, getting the biggest bang for your buck, sometimes those are not, to me, the best to buy because, or to grow, because you can buy those in bulk at the store and they don't cost but like $3 or something. I mean, so really it's better to do your high-end produce and save the money there and the flavor. And also it helps if your dad plants the peas and the beans, because my dad does and he'll give me some. So I'm excited, and we might trade because I don't know that he's going to plant as many eggplant and different things as I do. I actually got the seeds from my dad, the okra seeds. They are just amazing. I got those from him years ago, and I've been planting them ever since, and he's had those seeds forever. And he also has a great black-eyed pea or a purple hull pea, and he's given me those. Those are great too. Okay, here is the beautiful Tabasco plant. Look at this. It is just beautiful. These will all turn red. All of these Tabasco peppers are going to turn red, but right now they're still a beautiful green that is a different color green than the leaf, so it really stands out, and they stick straight up, and this is just not, you know, the normal look for a plant. So we have a lot of bell peppers. We have habanero, jalapeno, all kinds of hot peppers. So over there, the habanero bush, it's beautiful. You don't have to stake it. And you can grow a lot of those as well. So we have to put cages around our tomatoes. You can stake them with just some twine and, you know, like some limbs from, you know, out there in the wild, you know, just whatever, you know, for the year. Okay, so here's my squash. And we've also got a lot of sweet potatoes, and they're finally growing. We had a lot of deer come in and eat them all the way down not too long ago, but we're gonna have sweet potatoes, and I'm excited about that. We love, love, love sweet potato fries. That's on the website too, I think. If not, it's in my book, Stacy Lyn's Harvest Cookbook, and I make those sweet potatoes into French fries, and you can fry them or you can bake them, and depending on what you put on them, like salt and pepper and maybe a little cayenne, that'll be the savory, and serve it with this really great sauce, or you can do it with cinnamon and sugar. Oh my goodness, you're gonna love it. Okay, so come on over here and I'll show you. Well, I didn't walk down the eggplant aisle, but over here you can see the Japanese eggplant. In here you can see all of my squash. Now, to tell when you know are to pick your squash, you're not, oh goodness, let me see if there's a, this one especially will be really good. This one's getting where it isn't gonna be good. The darker they turn like this, and they will grow like a foot. I mean, overnight. I mean, it's crazy. Look at that. This one's gonna be pretty horrible. And so, yeah, I needed to have come out here and harvested vegetables, but I've been asking my son to wait until I did this video and took some pictures, but I've got to get out here and harvest all of this. So then we've got the eggplant over here. Those are Japanese. The long ones are Japanese. These are just your regular eggplant. Now, another thing about these eggplant, when they start to get a little bit dull, that is when you plant the eggplant. I mean, when you pick the eggplant. So you don't want them to get a dull color. If they're shiny, they're probably not quite ready. But if they're not, then they start getting dull, you'll want to pick those. Okay, another thing, so we've got some cherry tomatoes, and then like these over here are getting to be a little bit dull, these eggplant. And y'all, we did this experiment in the garden. At first, our tomato plants grew a lot bigger with the mulch around them, but now we've noticed that it's, the others have just caught up. So I'm not sure that it did anything for the growing, but it has cut down on the weeds. And usually I bring my Felcos out here to get my my eggplant off, but I don't have them. So anyway, I'll have to bring it out here later because I know y'all don't want to watch me struggle with that. All right, so them peppers, when they're ready, you can just lift them up and they'll just come off. Look at that. Did you see that? That was so cool. So you just lift them up. Here they go. That's how easy harvesting these are. I had a little bit more trouble with my eggplant. But anyway, we've got our cucumbers over here, and they're the pickling cucumbers, and they're a little bit prickly. Let's go look at that real quick, and then I'll show you my fig tree. I don't know if you can grow figs where you are or not, but they grow great here. My grandmother used to cut hers all the way down to the ground, and it would grow up huge, bigger than ever the next year. And so it just freaked me out every single year because I would climb that tree. Okay, so here are these, you know, cucumbers, and they have their little prickly edges, and so that is different than your slicer, and these are great for pickling. So there you go. We've got a lot of herbs over here. It doesn't look too good right now. We cut it back because we have a lot of mint, and we've got oregano and thyme and parsley, all kinds of stuff in there. And then here's our fig tree, and we also have pear trees. I don't know if you can see the pears. We've got some pear trees over here. We've got some pomegranate trees, muscadine vines. I might take you over there here in a second. So here is our fig tree. And look, here's one that a bird got into, and this is what they look like when they're ripe. And there's some ripe ones way up high. I need to get those. And then on the inside, this is what they look like. Aren't they beautiful? So pretty on a plate of food. And then stuff them with mascarpone cheese, and then drizzle them with honey. Girl, man, whatever you are out there, this is so good. You gotta have it. So, all right, come on over here. I want to show you my pear tree. So the pears look beautiful this year. We have a plum tree also right behind it, but I'm not sure our plums did that well this year. But anyway, here we've got some beautiful pears. They're beautiful, and then that, and you can get all kinds of varieties of pears. We did some grafting a couple of years ago, and some of these trees that we have out here are from our grafting. So this looks a little bit messy, so I don't really want to show you all of this, but this is where we do our experimental gardening. And we do our grafting, and we see if they're going to work and everything. But there's a pomegranate tree right there, and then we have some muscadine vines right over there. So you can make muscadine wine, you can make jelly, jams, you can just do about anything. So I am so glad that I was able to show you the garden. My son's been here. He's been in school, and he's been here this week, so he has really cleaned that garden up. He said, this is it. This is where it's at its peak. It's going to start looking bad. We'll still continue to get produce probably all the way through July and into August, but it just isn't going to look that pretty. It just gets so dry here, so hot, but we will produce some good food. So I'll keep you posted. I'll be bringing you recipes. I just did one today with the eggplant, and I just cut it up, grilled it, put it in the oven for about 15 minutes, got it back out. At the same time, I cut some of my tomatoes up. I put them face down in some olive oil, not a lot, but in a pan with a little bit of garlic chopped up in there. Put it in the oven on about 400, got them all out at the same time, took the skin off of the tomatoes, put the tomatoes on the eggplant, put Parmesan cheese, ran it back in the oven, done. There you go. So that is an awesome eggplant recipe if you're looking for one. And then you could serve it with a steak, you could serve it with chicken, or just have a vegetarian dish. But anyway, thank you. Welcome to my garden. I'll keep you posted. I'll be putting up new recipes, all kinds of great recipes coming up at stacylynharris.com, and thanks for watching.